Good morning, welcome to this week's vlog. Today I'm going to be telling you about a SWOT analysis and how you adding it to your toolbox this week can really help you move forward in your leadership journey. So let's put our best foot forward and see where we get to. Okay, so here we go, SWOT analysis. If you've never heard of a SWOT analysis, and this is part of my story I'm going to be telling you today. So if you don't know what a SWOT analysis is, you use the letters and they stand for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. So obviously that spells out SWOT. It's a tool that people use. I like to say it's a really good action plan tool. It's a self-awareness tool. And I've got a bit of a funny story and a connection to SWOT analysis. So when I left the military and when I first started to be serious about starting my own online course, working one-to-one with business owners to level up their leadership over a 3-month period. That's my sort of passion about having it's a process, it's a journey over time. It's not just something that you can do a weekend course over, and having that accountability and implementation partner through obviously myself, leadership and high performance coach, is really important. And I've had lots of people on that course, directors, newly promoted to business owner, entrepreneurs, lots of different people. But the reason I picked out SWOT analysis, because this is a big part of my journey. So when I planned out and structured what I was going to be working with people on, the SWOT analysis was my starting point. But I wasn't 100% sure. When I first put all the things that I've done, all the tools, all the processes in a 3-month course, it was quite overwhelming with the amount of things, and I stripped it back again because we now have a monthly mastermind that we meet up, and obviously I can add value and add processes. But specifically about the SWOT analysis, I personally thought it was going to be too simple. Loads of people had heard of a SWOT analysis. I was putting my perception and my experience on what I thought who I was going to attract. How wrong was I? And I'm really pleased that I took the decision not to take it out. And let me explain why. Because what I experienced was, I would say probably 80% of people that I speak to, deal with in sort of like a group or individual setting have heard of a SWOT analysis. They've maybe used a SWOT analysis before, but on discussing and on sort of seeing like how often do you use it and what's your experiences, they go, oh right, yeah, so I've done a SWOT analysis before on probably one of my first training courses, or I've done one before, but I did it on the course and I didn't implement it. And they actually do have that thought process of, when they say that, it's almost like that realization of, yeah, actually, why don't I have these things in place that I already have in my toolbox that I don't use to keep myself accountable for moving forward, driving the business, driving myself, leveling myself up. So I'm glad I kept it in, and that's the reason why I still use it. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. On one side of it, strengths and opportunities, it's really important to be, and again, awareness tool. What are your strengths and what are your opportunities? Because you can action plan that, okay? And again, I'm keeping this as simple as possible without going into every single person watching this. Every person that I take through this is different, and it's a tool, it's a process. The other side of it is your weaknesses and threats. And again, the awareness of those can lead to actions for you to do something about it. So that's more on the learning and developing, or who can we get involved, who can complement or add value to the things that we are weak at and the things that are threats to us. They can either be in a business or personal or team side of things. So what I'm trying to say here is, if you haven't heard of a SWOT analysis, really look at it, implement it, hit me a comment because I can send you over the actual framework. If you haven't used it since you first got introduced to it, this week, go and have a look and really, and again, do this, go through it really quickly, just the first few things that come to your mind, and then go back through it slowly, okay? And really dig into it. And then obviously if you have got somebody, talk out loud to somebody about it, because you talking through your processes will add points that you maybe didn't think about or you want to add context to. But it's really simple, really usable, and I promote people using it probably once a quarter. I think, hopefully, and this has really been good to see this happen probably over the last 5 years-ish in my experience, and speaking to junior, middle, senior leaders, is that luckily the annual appraisal is starting to float away now, because in the past, you might know what I'm talking about here, about the fact of communication and feedback only happened once a year in the annual appraisal. And I think working in the civil service, working in with businesses, I think they're really starting to cotton on now to consistency in feedback communication, using these tools to engage their people. It's because the more information, the more communication you can have, the more implementation and action of high performance and productivity can happen. But like I said, it's quite difficult to do a very specific one on this because everybody's different. Every sector, every business, every individual can use this separately. So anyway, I'm waffling, but I love to get really deep into these concepts. So if you're interested, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And like I say, I'm still working with people individually, one-to-one, over 3 months. Let me know if you're interested. I didn't realise there's a nice pylon behind me here. So have a fab week. Let me know how you implement the SWOT analysis, and make sure you check out the podcast this week. Let me just show you the usual. Okay, so we've got Julie Kent on, MBE, an amazing story, an amazing person, and it'll be going out Wednesday at 6 a.m. So have a good week. See you soon.